Okay, so MXGP Race 1 in Metterley Basin started with a hull shot from Red Bull KTM Factory Racing team rider Antonio Cairoli, just ahead of his teammate Glenn Coldenhoff. A few spots further back was the other Red Bull KTM rider Jeffrey Herlings, the 2018 MXGP points leader. A bad lap and some mistakes led Herlings in a position to take the lead, but Cairoli fought back and the two carried over for the next 2 laps. With 2 laps to go, Jeffrey Herlings dove to the inside of Cairoli. Jeffrey Herlings kept on the gas with Cairoli trying to cut in, and they both came together with Cairoli going down. Jeffrey Herlings took the race win, but Antonio got up quickly and managed second with Tim Gajser in third position.
Absolute best. Not to get involved as well. And Herlings looking to make a move down the inside. Oh, he runs down into Cairoli. Oh! Wow! That was coming. Herlings charged down the inside. He had one thing on his mind, to run it down the inside of Cairoli.
The second race started the same with Antonio Cairoli hull shot, but Jeffrey Herlings quickly joined the battle for the first position, and again with Tony Cairoli. This time pass was clear from Jeffrey Herlings, but that pass was so smooth. The pass was made in the same spot as in the first race. Jeffrey Herlings won both races and finished in the first position, while Antonio Cairoli finished in the second position.
We saw him go around the outside in race 1. Oh, and he runs out of room. The fair on the brakes. Cairoli not falling for the same mistake twice. Herlings though will swing to the inside, just like he did on Gajser, and he does! That was a move from race 1 on Gajser, and on the final...
Hold on, this race was very hot. 2019 MXGP route in Italy Trentino was lit. It was an epic battle between Tim Gajser and multiple world champion Antonio Cairoli, and this was something special. In the first race, Antonio Cairoli took the hull shot and was leading all the race, but Tim Gajser was close to Antonio Cairoli all the time. Immediately after the finish line in the first turn, at the end of the race, Tim Gajser made a great pass and won the first race by 1 second against Tony Cairoli.
Goes through, and Cairoli is going to fight back immediately. Wow, gloves are off. He's got fed up of eating the roost off the rear wheel of that KTM. And
the second race was full of drama and the leader changing several times. This time, Tim Gajser won the hull shot and was leading, but Tony Cairoli was pushing limits and passed Tim Gajser in the pit lane. However, Tim Gajser was not far behind and very quickly made a return pass in almost the same place as Tony Cairoli did. But then, Antonio Cairoli was overtaken by Tim Gajser again in just a couple of laps later in the same spot. I'm telling you, it's crazy. However, in one of the corners, Antonio Cairoli made a mistake and crashed. Taking advantage of this, Tim Gajser calmly won the race and overall. Meanwhile, Antonio Cairoli finished second in both races. That was a crazy...
Comes around the outside. Oh, he buries his wheels in the ground again, and they almost touch coming over the jump. Cairoli goes through. Wow. Gajser tried to close the door. They are on the absolute limit. And another mistake! Cairoli goes down, and that is the GP decided.
Hello everyone. So today's video is gonna be epic. I want to show you one of the battles that went all the way to the finish line between Dylan Ferrandis and Jeffrey Herlings. So Saturday's qualifying session was won by Dylan Ferrandis, while Jeffrey Herlings finished in third position. The championship itself, Jeffrey Herlings is going spectacularly. Until the Italian stage, he won all 7 stages and all 14 motos, which is really impressive. Complete dominance from the perspective of Jeffrey Herlings. Dylan Ferrandis' season was somewhat more complicated, and he missed 4 stages due to injury. So, the first moto started with Dylan Ferrandis winning the start and Jeffrey Herlings starting in 3rd position.
Up into the left, 90 degrees, turn 5. Ooh, a little bit out of shape there for the bullet. Jonas still in 4th place, about 3.
So, Dylan Ferrandis won the start and was able to start to close the gap on Jeffrey Herlings, as San Bernardini was 2nd at that time and Jeffrey Herlings struggled with him until he finally passed him. Then it did. Dylan Ferrandis had a solid lead over Jeffrey Herlings, but not so big that he could feel safe. Dylan Ferrandis recorded the fastest lap time in this race, which allowed him to keep Jeffrey Herlings in front of him all the race, but Jeffrey Herlings was constantly sniffing Dylan's back and his competitors' mistakes outside.
9 of 45.8, so 1.2 now the gap between 1st and 2nd. Bernardini, we still wait for him to come over the line now. And in the next couple of rounds or so, certainly for the rest of the season for Anstey and Cairoli. But Jorge Prado, he was the foxhole shot again.
In the mixed 2 class, Spanish rider Jorge Prado finally makes his official debut after an unsuccessful attempt in Belgium when an injury forced him to postpone his GP debut. Winner of a qualifying race on Saturday, Jorge didn't feel comfortable on the wet track during the first race, but battled for the win in race 2 with teammate Jeffrey Herlings. Second of this race, he finished 3rd overall of the GP behind Dutch riders Herlings and Bogers, while Thomas Cairoli, the MX250 champion, confirmed his great potential with a 5th overall.
Just using a bit more power, a bit more momentum, but Herlings couldn't find a way past Prado yesterday. And then his bike went and let go. So there'll be a lot of noise in a moment.
Jorge Prado introduced himself to the motocross world in an amazing way. He won the qualification on Saturday. However, the track changed and became much more difficult. Jorge Prado had a very difficult first race, finishing only in 12th position, almost 2 minutes behind the leader. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Herlings also had a difficult weekend. A long time taught a dirt bike and a crash in the first race, but from the last place Jeffrey managed to rise to 2nd place. Jeffrey has already proven to us many times that he can do that. The second race became much more interesting, as Jorge Prado won the start and drove in the 1st